Okay folks, grab your iodine pills and your Geiger counter. Get in your Citroen and head out for some 1950s Atomic. It all started with a love story. Today we got another French alcohol stove as part of the series on them. And it's from a company called SEB. You probably know some of their brands. Tefal, Calor, Rowenta, Moulinex, Krups, to name a few. It's a company that's well over 100 years old. It was originally started in 1857 by a guy called Antoine Lescure. He was a tinsmith from the Auvergne. Anyway, he fell in love with a woman from Burgundy, so moved over to Salangier and to start manufacturing his own tinware items. His son and grandson and family over the generations took over from him, industrialized the production, made the society. They created interest in new items that were robust for the kitchen. They introduced a pressure cooker in the 1950s. And they also had a range of different types of stoves. This is the SEB Atomic. Its smaller sibling, which is more suited for hiking, is called the SEB Bikini. So we can hazard a guess which decade they were introduced. The 50s, the 1950s, and the craze for naming things after the Bikini Atoll bomb tests. So we have a look. We can see it's a steel. All over. Handles as well. Steel plate. This is the pot holder. It just fits over the top with 3 catches to be able to lift it off if needs be. A wire handle which just snaps into a ridge in the fuel tank, and a screw-on lid with a rubber seal. I haven't found one yet that will replace this, but I will see what I can do. On the tank itself, it says it's a stove. You can regulate it for alcohol gas, I presume they mean the fumes. It's called the Atomic. It's explosion proof. Which means that it has the wadding inside, just like an Origo or other stoves that we have seen as well, such as the Trapper and last week's ALG stove. This means it's spill proof basically. What makes this very interesting is it's stable, and it has, I don't know if you can see that very well, a sliding ring which allows it to simmer. This one has a little bit of damage, some holes in there, and in there where the chrome has come away, and unfortunately this one did not come with the snuffer, and the snuffer, as you can see here, for the original stove had an attachment to fit in that so that you could move that around and also lift this off. This is useless without that attachment or something that I can put into it. I shouldn't extinguish the stove with this either. So what I've done is I've bodged together out of a cap and an old pricker. And I can move that around. I haven't got instructions for this. I presume it doesn't matter how you start it, but I would think that you would have to close it for simmering before you snuff it out. Now the rubber seal was working perfectly. This would seal up, stop any evaporation and not allow anything to come out. Obviously being steel, there is corrosion because meths, alcohol, etc. has water in it. There is no filling point except directly into the actual wadding. And we're going to liberally apply bioethanol to this. And let it soak for a few minutes. And by liberal, I mean that's half the bottle. We'll replace that and we'll move it over there. I'll just put this over the top just now just to prevent any evaporation. As like in the previous week, 300 mils in the Optimus kettle. Now, as I mentioned before, this is the larger sibling. There is a smaller one which is more lightweight for backpacking. This is probably a car camping stove for when the 1950s caravanning was starting to become very popular. People were using a lot of ex-wartime equipment, and this would have been seen as something more modern than the Primus stoves, kerosene stoves that we love. Even today, you can go into any supermarket in France and get a bottle of bioethanol. It's very handy when you go to France to carry an alcohol stove, and you can always get the fuel for it. Now let's see if we can get this lit. And we'll switch off the lights as usual. Now, give it some air. I had that closed and it had gone off. Now I've opened it, it's much better. We have a yellow flame at the moment. We'll let it have a chance. I don't know how long this has been dry, but we'll give it a minute. There's no use really having many side shots of this one as it's a pretty well enclosed flame, but we'll see what we can see. Right, we'll put on the kettle and we'll time it. What we're looking to beat is the just under 5 minutes from the last time. And there we can see it from the side with the kettle. Probably needs a lot more alcohol. You can feel a bit of heat coming off it. As it passed the 5 minutes mark, so the ALG has beaten it. I can hear it starting to boil. It's done. 8 minutes, I'm okay with that. The only thing I have to get used to is being able to find this little slot so I can move that. Now I'll just show you that quickly. So that's it at low flame. I'll show you it from the side. At low flame, and then high flame. So low flame, high flame, and you can adjust it in between to whatever you want. It works quite well. It would probably work even better if I had the original and if it was totally cleaned. I'll probably take it to bits and give it a bit of a clean just to remove any friction, but that gives you an idea of how it works. Now I've closed it off. We'll just snuff it out. As always, with alcohol stoves that have a rubber seal, wait until it cools down before you do anything. I actually really like this little stove. I'm not bothered that it takes 8 minutes to boil water. It'll probably be faster once it has been used a couple of times. It was bone dry inside, so it had to soak up all that alcohol. It wasn't exactly fair on it. It'll be interesting to see how its little sibling, the bikini, works. Although it's not in such good condition as this. This is a nice shiny example. Even though it's got a few rust holes and missing a bit of chrome here and there, it's still very nice for a stove that could be about 75 years old, at least 70 years old. It's very stable. The handles haven't heated up. As I said, I like this stove. You might disagree with me. Tell me what you think in the comments. Next week I'll bring you, hopefully if I can get it up and running, the bikini. No, not me in a bikini. The bikini stove. You don't want to see that. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please think about subscribing. It really helps the channel. Hopefully I'll see you all next week when I show you the bikini. Until then, bye for now.